By popular demand, this video, or this series of videos, as it will probably end up being, we're going to cover the Facebook Pixel. We're going to touch on conversion ads, and we're going to touch on lookalike audiences. So all of this is definitely more complex, but it can be really powerful when it's used. And so let this be a good overview for you. And just know that the way Facebook is, everything that I'm showing you right now could totally change and be different by the time you watch the video. In fact, I'd be willing to bet within 5 minutes of doing this, they're going to change something. It's going to look different. That's just the way Facebook is. So I want you to learn the concepts more than anything else. That's really what's going to help you to utilize all of this stuff that I'm going to show you. So the first thing we got to do is we've got to get our Facebook pixels. So again, we're going to do all of this from business.facebook.com. This is where you want to be doing all of your ads. As I've said many, many times, go to business.facebook.com. So when we go there, I've got several different ad accounts. So I'm just going to log into one of them right here. And when you go in there, we're going to need to go to the events section. I think it's called Events Manager. So here we go. We're going to find that over here on the side. It's going to be a bunch of little dots that are going to show up here once the internet starts moving fast enough. Come on. There we go. Got little 9 dots right here. Business Tools. So when we click on that, I can see down here we've got something called Events Manager. We're going to go ahead and click on Events Manager. All right, so now that I'm here, I've already created a pixel. I don't know if they've added a feature where you need to create a pixel. I don't think they have. I think if you go there, you can create your event, is what they're calling it now, and that's going to create your pixel if you don't already have one. If not, there will be instructions here on how to create it. But if we come over here to this green Create button over on the left side, when I create that, I've got some options here. First one is Create an Ad. The second is Create a Custom Audience. Now remember, custom audiences, as I've talked about before, there are so many different types of custom audiences. That's where you can upload your database. That's where, if you bought a bunch of leads off of Zillow or Realtor.com or Trulia, or just over the years, upload them, create a custom audience, upload them into Facebook. So that way you can turn around and start running ads to those people. I mean, they've already expressed an interest at some point in real estate. They might as well start seeing you everywhere. Lookalike audiences. This I'm going to get into a little bit later because it's a really powerful feature, and I'm thinking that the pixel stuff won't take me too long to go through. So I want to kind of touch on the lookalike audience, but here's just the rough overview of that. If you've been in real estate for any length of time and you've got a database of clients, you can literally upload those as a custom audience into Facebook. And then you could tell Facebook, hey, I want you to create a lookalike audience. Because remember, Facebook has basically all the information in the world on us, right? They know what we like, they know what we don't like. You can tell Facebook, I want you to create a lookalike audience that looks just like all my clients, or even just like all of your leads. And then Facebook basically looks at all of your leads, looks at all of your custom audience that you created, and it takes them about 30 minutes, and they come back and they give you a list of 2 million people. Now, those are going to be nationwide, and so then you would, of course, zero that down into, let's say, your area, 15-mile radius around some city. And you could turn around and start running ads to people that look like your client already. Kind of a cool little feature. The last one right here is Create Custom Conversion. And that's where we would actually go to create a conversion event, is what they're calling it now. And so how we would use that is we're going to take our pixel and we're going to put our pixel on our website. And if you were to put this on a landing page, and I'm just going to show you using ClickFunnels, you can use whoever you want. I'm just going to show you how we actually add it to our website. But what we would do with a custom conversion is we would tell Facebook, hey, when the pixel fires from this page, a specific page, basically the thank you page. Someone gave us their information and we said thank you, right? So this is that page. What that tells Facebook is that person is now a conversion. And then basically when you're telling Facebook, hey, I want conversions, Facebook goes, well, we're going to start sending your ad to people who look like those people who have converted for you and fit all of your other criteria, like where they are, gender, etc. And we're going to try and get you more leads. Facebook will do everything they can to get you more of what you're asking for. So under Add Events down here, we've got using the Conversions API, we've got from a new website, add the pixel to a new website to start sending events to it, or from the pixel, add events using the pixel code or event tool setup. So I'm just going to click on from a new website right here, and it takes me to this page right here. Basically, you can, if you're using certain other companies, Squarespace, WordPress, Spotify, sometimes you can just email your pixel to your web developer and they'll go ahead and put it on your website. And I've said this 100 times, if you're working with a web developer who doesn't know how to add a pixel, get a new web developer. Because we're talking about something like pre-101 material, right? Like you may not know how to do it because you're not a web developer, but any web developer, anybody who can even consider themselves a web developer knows how to add a pixel to a website. So I'm just going to click on manually add pixel code to website, install code manually. So it takes me to this screen right here, and I can click this green copy code button. Basically, it's copying all of this that's in here. We don't really need to see it. Or I could click on email instructions if I had someone who I wanted to get this. So I'm just going to go ahead and email it to myself. So if you've got a web developer, you could literally just email them everything. They're going to know what to do with this because that's usually how they get the pixel. So I've already copied it. So I've got it saved to my clipboard. Now I'm going to go ahead and log into my ClickFunnels account. And I'm going to go over here to funnels. So this is a web development company. This is where we create a lot of our websites and sales sites and things like that. And so I've got a lot of different landing pages here. So I've got first-time homebuyer landing page. As you can see, I've got 3 steps. I've got basically 3 pages to this website, if you will. And so what I would do, now with ClickFunnels, they actually give me a couple of different options, and I don't really want to train you on ClickFunnels because that's a completely different thing. I mean, this is a minimum of $100 a month. I'm on the $300 a month plan. Most people, you don't need to do this, but I just want to show you how we actually add a pixel. So I'm just going to literally edit the page right here and show you how you would normally do this to your website. Which, by the way, keep this in mind. You don't just have to do this on your website. You can do it on your main authority website, your main website that you use for your business. You have this pixel and you put it on every page, and then you can create a custom audience from that pixel, meaning you can tell Facebook, hey, everybody that's been to my website, I want you to create a custom audience. And then you could start running ads to them. And then you could even say, hey, Facebook, I want you to create a lookalike audience of people that look like everybody that's been to my website, right? So that's kind of the cool stuff that we can do here with Facebook. So in this case, I go over here to settings. They've got a little area called tracking code. And they've got a place where I can put tracking code in the header or in the footer. That's because some tracking codes, like Google, I believe, goes in the footer, or it might be the body. I can't remember exactly. Facebook goes in the header. So I'm on the header section right here. I literally just paste in all of that code that Facebook had saved for me. They'd saved it to my clipboard. This little number right here, that's my actual pixel code. So if I go ahead and click save on that, that's going to save it to that website, or that web page, rather. Excuse me. And I'm going to do the exact same thing here to the thank you page. Now, I've already done this just so I could make sure everything was working correctly earlier before I actually did a video to show you. So I've already put the code on this page, and let me just show you where it is, just so you can see it is already there. So again, go over here to settings, go to tracking code, and you can see the pixel code's already there. So this is what that page looks like. If I were to go to the code on this page, so I go to view page source, and let me just type in Facebook. It's going to go find all the places that Facebook is, and here's that code right here. It's called script. There's that number I was showing you before. That's how we know that it is on the page. Another thing you can do, there's a great little tool right here. When you're using Google Chrome specifically, you can get, I believe it's called an extension, like all of these right here are extensions. And this one is called the Facebook Pixel Helper. And basically, anytime you're on any website, yours or anyone else's, and this thing, see how it's got a green 2 right there? Basically, what that's telling me is, hey, there's a Facebook Pixel on this site, and I can get a little bit of detail on it. So I can say, oh, okay, this is Profit Hacking Solution 1's Pixel. That's the pixel that's on here. I think the reason why it's got 2 is because of how we're using it. Or it could actually be that it's showing up twice because I put it in 2 different places. But the reason why I'm showing you that is that's kind of a cool little tool. Like if I go over here to Excellium's old site, not their forward coaching site because I actually didn't build that one for them. But if I go over here to Excellium.com, I just want to show you the Facebook Pixel tool here. Oh, boom, there it fires off for us. I click on that and I go, oh, okay, we've got, there's that Profit Hacking Solutions 1 pixel, and then we've also got this other pixel down here, which I'm sure is probably their pixel. And so you can actually see it on other people's websites. Really, it doesn't matter if you see it on other people's websites because you just kind of assume that people are smart enough to put the pixel on their website and are using it, both Google and Facebook. What it really is meant to do is to help you as you go to your own landing pages and you want to make sure that your web developer has put the code on. If that thing's not firing, if it's not showing it to you right there, then there's a problem. You need to talk to your web developer and go, hey, why isn't the pixel firing like it's supposed to be? But basically what this is doing, because we've put it on this thank you page, it's what we call fires. So when someone lands on this page and all of this code shows up in their web browser, that pixel is firing. That's what we call it. It's fired. And so it has now told Facebook, hey, Facebook, that person who you sent over here, guess what? They just visited this web page. And then Facebook does whatever you've told them to do with that information. Create a custom audience, create a conversion for an ad, whatever it might be. But that's how we get the pixel. So now let's go back over here. Let's see if we can find it here. Okay, so now we're back in our events manager. I've showed you where we've gotten the pixel and we've put it on the website. And now if we come over here to create, I'm going to create custom audience conversion. And so I'm going to name this thing and I'm just going to call it test 2. And you can add a description. This would be really good if you wanted to say, hey, this is a first time home buyer guide thank you page. So that would tell me, okay, this is for first time home buyers guides, the thank you page. So that means anyone who has this pixel has requested the guide. And I know they're interested in the first time home buyer guide. Our data source is that pixel of ours. Conversion event, all URL traffic. For your category, usually what we do is we leave it on Facebook selected category. So Facebook is going to figure out what category it applies to. And the only reason why we'd really want to change that if we're like, no, this is absolutely a lead. That's all I want Facebook to ever think it is a lead. And then when you run an ad for leads and you tell Facebook, that's the pixel I want you to focus on, it's going to use all of that data. It's going to say, okay, well, he wants leads. And we know these are leads, so let's show them more people just like those leads that have already come in. So then we come down here. It says, what are the rules for this? Most of the time, what I do is I actually, let me close that page, open this one, is I'm going to actually take the full URL. So I'm literally going to copy that URL. And I'm going to say equals. And then I paste it. And here's the key part. You got to hit the return key. Now what that is telling Facebook is, okay, this custom conversion, when it fires from this page only. Now, if I had like a couple of pages, I could add another one here by just hitting that little plus button. But what I'm telling them is when it fires from that page, that is Test 2's lead custom conversion. And I want you to always know that. So then I hit create. Oh, well, okay, because I've already created this. So it's telling me, hey, you can't create the same conversion. Well, that's okay. But that's how you would do it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create our ad. So let's go over here to our ads manager. All right, so now here we are in our ads manager. We're in the campaign area. I'm going to go ahead and click create a campaign because I'm going to create a conversion campaign. So I showed you in session 2 how we set up a lead generation campaign. I've shown you how to do a video ads campaign. Now we're going to do a conversion campaign. So I click on conversions. And let's see here, name your new campaign. So I'm just going to call this sample conversions. And I can also create sample conversions ad set and sample conversions ad. I hit continue. It's going to create that campaign for me. And it's going to take me to this page just so I can review all of the information, sample conversions, its auction, campaign objective is now conversions. That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and hit close. And now I'm going to go here into the sample conversions. And there's that sample conversion ad set that I just created. Now if I click on edit, it's going to say, okay, well, this is a conversion. So what kind of conversion did you want? So I'm going to go ahead and click on the conversion event and cross that one out right there. And let's see if we can find that. There's the test one that I just created. Now, the reason why it's red is it's saying, hey, you haven't fired this pixel yet. So that's why we've always got to go over here and fire the pixel. Now I know that it's fired, so it will work even though it's going to be red right now. So once you've actually finished all of this, before your ad will run, that button right there that's currently red for me will need to be green for you. So you can see we haven't received activity from your custom conversion yet. Please select, so it's basically saying, you know, make sure that that thing's working properly. I know that it's working because I've installed it and I have fired it, but that's how we add that custom conversion event. So then I'm going to come down here. It's already set to $20 a day. It's going to start right now. Let's say I was just going to run that for 5 days, so I'm just going to spend $100. So I would say, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and, because it's probably going to take it a day to turn on. So I'll set it out there till August 29th. For our audiences, this is where we'd say, hey, you know what? I'm going to say, I'm not going to use a custom audience for this, but I could. I don't want it to go to the whole United States. That's a bit much. I'm going to say Long Beach, California. Now remember, in real estate, they're going to always make you do at least 15 miles around the city. All right. So I could say people living in or recently in this location. And okay, maybe I just want living in the location. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. They're going to make you do it to all age brackets, both genders. Then we could also do some targeting additional options if we wanted. So let's just say people who are interested in real estate broker, realtor.com, that's probably closer. So I wanted people who are interested in realtor.com. And they're the right age and they're in the right area. And then I'm going to go over here to manual placements, because again, my theory, and it's been proven, if it doesn't work on the Facebook newsfeed, it's not going to work anywhere else. So I want it to play on my Facebook newsfeed. I don't want it in Marketplace. I don't want it in video. I definitely don't want it in the right column. I actually don't want it in stories. I don't want it in stream. I don't want it in search. I don't want it in an article. I literally want it in the news feed and the news feed only. And that is how we create our ad set for the custom conversion. So I'm going to go ahead and hit close on that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to actually go to the ad itself. So let me hit edit on the ad. So let's just say I was going to do it here from the forward coaching page. I could either create the ad or I could use an existing post. So I could very easily use one of my video ads. I could use the exact same post. Even though I'm optimizing for conversions, if I've put the landing page in the text and I've told people in the video where to go to get the next steps, to get the tip sheet, to get the consumer guide, whatever, I could actually use that same video, select the post right here, just like I have before. And I could run that. Add my call to action button if this is the first time I've ever run that post. And that is how you set up and run a conversion ad. And they work extremely, extremely well. So I highly recommend that you use conversion ads and give them a whirl. Make sure that they work for you and what you're trying to accomplish. If you've got any questions on any of the stuff that we've just covered, go ahead and shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to help you out.